moment, all I could think was, I'm going to die. Like, and it's just so stressful. So I was on my way to work. It was Christmas, not Christmas Eve, it was New Year's Eve, so it was December 31st. So it was the morning of New Year's Eve, and I was on my way to work. I was walking alongside Scotia, well, on the opposite side. I normally stop at Scotia, and then I'd cross to go over to the Jamaica Conference side, and I walked past Jamaica Conference Centre. I almost turned onto the waterfront. Initially, like before getting to Jamaica Conference Centre, I saw when he walked up. The man, I saw when he walked up to Jamaica Conference Centre, he sat down and he took his bag off. I didn't think much of it because from a distance he looked like a regular person, right? So I walked past him. When I walked past him, like my mind said, look back. And by the time I looked back, he was already charging at me, like he was already this close, like where he is with his hand up swinging. And when it's like my mind went blank. You know, my mind went blank, and I couldn't even, like, I'm just there, and this image of this man is in front of me with a machete, you know, just. And by the time I remember, like, putting my hand up to block, I don't know if this is, you know, this one here, I don't know if it's when I put my hand up. And by like the second chop, I fell, you know, and I was just there screaming for a while. I was just screaming, like, somebody help, and in the moment I just kept thinking, I'm going to die. Because it's corporate area, and people aren't really walking by that side, you know, like Scotia, and people aren't really walking and they're driving past.
What time was this?
This was about 8:20 a.m.
So this was early in the morning, relatively. And what happened afterwards? So you're on the ground, you're thinking you're going to die.
Yeah.
What happens?
So then so after just screaming, I saw a man using his bicycle to hold him off. Right? Yeah.
So he was still charging at you even when you're on the ground?
Yeah, he was just chopping away. I'm just screaming and he's just chopping. And in the time, like, at the moment, I wasn't sure where I was being chopped. I don't know if it's like the adrenaline or what, but like I couldn't tell where I was being chopped, but I know he was swinging, right? So he ended up chopping me here by my knee here. I got one here on my the butt here, and I have like a bruise here. Yeah, so he was just chopping away, and I couldn't really tell where I was sustaining, you know, damage, because I'm just in panic mode trying to, you know. So the man with the bicycle, he held him off, and then I got up, and the man was saying to me, like, he must say, oh my baby, you're alright, who him and your boyfriend? I said, no, I don't know him, he look like a madman, cause the man attacked me out of nowhere, like he charged at me with such a speed, I never even know so people can run that fast. Cause by the time I look back, it's like the flash and he's right in front of me, already swinging, and yeah, he held him off, and I was able to get up, and at the same time someone was driving by, like on the next side, like, you know, when you turn off before you get to Scotia, you turn on Wielding and come around to go on to the waterfront. Yeah, someone was passing and he stopped, and I begged him, like, I can't go to hospital, please, and he said, alright, come. And I got in his car, and he's driving me to the hospital, and I remember talking to him. And of course I'm screaming, I'm frantic, I'm panicking, I'm everything, and I'm bleeding everywhere, because I, like, you know, I'm saying I'm not sure where I got chopped, but I was sure for a fact that I was chopped in my head, because I felt when the blood started running down my face, and I felt when he covered my eyes, so he chopped me like right here too. So that was the only place I was sure I got chopped. And
And at this point, you're not noticing that you have
yeah,
this
so I was getting to that. So I'm talking to him. Of course, I'm frantic, asking all kind of like, like, where are we going, blah, blah, blah. And when I was speaking to him, a tooth fell out. At that point, I started screaming because because the fact that a tooth fell out, I'm like, oh gosh, I got chopped in my face, but I couldn't tell, because I wasn't sure where he chopped.
You're at this point,
The adrenaline and everything, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to see my face, I don't want to see my face, because I'm thinking if the tooth is out, then I got a very bad chop in my face. And I'm talking to the driver, I'm like, driver, how much of my teeth them gone? That's how I'm looking at him, like, driver, how much of my teeth them gone? And he turned back, because he's driving, so he's trying to keep his eyes on the road, but he's trying to, of course, calm me down and make me feel like, So he looked back and he's like, I just two, man, like him said, just two, and him look again, he's like, I just two, but then when I got to the hospital and I was able to take a good look, I realized that it's really just half that broke off this one, and then the one next to it, it was leaning like completely forward. So like at first glance, it looked like it wasn't there because it was leaning so, it was leaning, and at the hospital, God bless those people, because as soon as I got there, they got me a wheelchair, they rolled me, they started working on me and everything, they started dressing me, and then I just had to wait to see the doctor. And
how have you been coping with in the aftermath, when you went home and you're re-imaging everything that happened? How were you able to cope and get through that?
At first it was a lot of crying. I was just crying. Sometimes I just think about it, my mind goes back to the day, to the moment, and I'm just crying. It was very frustrating because I couldn't do a lot of things for a while. I couldn't eat properly. I was just like drinking with a straw. I had to eat very soft foods like mashed potato. I had to just eat on this side because I can't, even right now I still can't chew properly. I can't clamp down because the tooth over here is so painful. I can't clamp down. I have to ensure that nothing is touching it, like whether my tongue, whether the top row of teeth, like food, anything. So I have to chew on this side.
Right.
And it was just very frustrating and irritating for a while. I couldn't properly like clean myself because you're supposed to keep your wounds dry and clean and all of that. So even that I couldn't do for a while, and then my mind just kept going back to the day because in the moment all I could think was I'm going to die, like, and it's just so stressful remembering it. And walking on the road now, I'm okay to the point where I don't feel like immediate fear when walking on the road. Like every person I pass, I don't feel like fear or panic. It's only when like there's someone behind me and I keep looking back, and of course every time we drive past I look and it's like, oh my gosh, because it's just a very crazy day. That day was crazy because when I got up and I'm looking down and I could see one of my braids on the ground and I'm looking at blood, and and the man, oh my gosh, after the bicycle man pulled him off and everything, he just said 10 years, like the man him just said 10 years, and he went back to sit down in the same exact spot that he was sitting before and just started looking off into the distance like you're sitting on your veranda just taking in scenery. What I'm going to have to do to my teeth, that's gonna be really expensive also, because dental care is just expensive overall.
Yes.
It's crazy expensive, but the dentist at KPH, he said that I need to have some root canal done, and he told me that this tooth, the one that's cracked down the middle, he's saying the damage is really bad and that I have to get it extracted. That's what he said. He's saying there is a slight chance that a root canal might save it, but he's saying in cases like this where the damage is this extensive, the root canal normally fails, and you know, but he's saying there's a slight chance, so I'm going to consult with someone for that too to see if that can work. And this is, it's like a lot of money. I'm looking at over like $500,000 when I calculate all the things, because like after the root canal is done and the possible extraction, there could be, you know, I'd be looking at an implant, and then for the root canal you have to do restorative work afterwards, which that's separate fees from the treatment, the root canal treatment.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a lot of money that I do not have. A lot of money that I don't have.
Right.
So I've been trying to get help with that. I have a GoFundMe fundraiser going around
Right.
because I need some money, because I don't want to wait, because the longer I wait my teeth could just be dying.
Right.
So I don't, and even like saving is going to take a long time to get to that money that I need, because life is expensive.
Right.
Like, just living is expensive. Things cost, things raise, go up every day. Rent, utilities, all of that.
Right.